Hello, beautiful people. Do you like my new hat? I made it all by myself, and I even put a ribbon on. I couldn't find my black ribbon, so I had to put a purple one on. I'm going to take it off in a bit because it's really annoying, but I have it for a reason.
Hello.
Hello. I'm early tonight for a change. Not running late. I fed the cats. Well, I fed 2 of them. The other 3 didn't appear, so they'll get fed later if they appear. If you hear kids shouting, I don't know what they're on about, but they're shouting at each other. When's school holidays? So yes, I made my tinfoil hat. It's not the best hat, but I'm sure it'll do the job. It's weird looking at it in the camera because you get confused with the direction of things. Oh no, it's leaning. It's leaning. It's leaning. So yeah, I couldn't find my black ribbon. I must have been using it for something and put it down somewhere and get on my head straight, you silly hat. Yes, it's a bit wonky, but then I'm wonky. So hello, Billy Kershaw, lovely to see you. And L Butterfly Effect, thank you, my darling, for being here. Suzanne 0707, thank you for being here. Draka, and I'm sure Alexis is with you. Hello to both of you. Danielle Coward, wonderful to see you. There we go. Yes, and the huge cat. Ooh, you've got a huge cat. Diz, hello, my darling. You're lurking here. That's wonderful. Thank you. I think I was watching one of your videos earlier. You might have seen the comment that I put on there. I think it was one of yours. Conti Plopkins, you'll know what I'm talking about. Who else do we have in chat? I think L's very present today. Hi, Mel. Lovely to see you. You're on a big choo-choo and you're sick of trees. Never be sick of trees. Trees are the lungs of the planet. We need them. And as witches, we love trees. We love giving them big hugs. Let's see, who have I missed? Because this, why do I want a Hershey's Kisses all of a sudden? I don't know. I've never had one. And I'm not a fan of Hershey chocolate. Your butt hurts, Mel. What have you been up to? That'll tell you know how well my wheelchair is made. All day in no pain, couple of hours on the train, ouch. Thank you, Elle, for putting up the link to my Buy Me a Coffee. If you would like to buy me a coffee, if you would like to support the channel monetarily, you can buy me a coffee. The link is in the description box. It's not in the description box because I forgot to put it there, but it is in the chat. Elle's just linked it, and it's also in the pinned comment at the top of the chat. Nature Bikes back. I saw, Suzanne, that you've had a pollen bomb. There's always pollen because there's trees right outside my door. So yeah. Nobody said anything about my hat yet. My cool, funky hat. That's a bit wonky. The Leaning Tower of Tinfoil. There we go. Thanks, Diz. I'm dressed in a bin bag. Brilliant. Bin bags and tinfoil hats. That's exactly what we need. Cheapest way to live. Saz, hello, darling. You're lurking too. All very good. Was a really cute rescue cat. Oh, lovely. They look like my hat. What, the trees? Hi, Chris. Lovely to see you. Don't worry. You'll get a report. It'll be a mark on your report card, but it's okay. It really doesn't matter. Do you like my hat, Suzanne? Thank you. Oh, you did. You did. Right. Yes, you did. Sorry. It's the stupid comments. My Suki cat sniffed a candle. She is no longer. Oh, I'm so sorry. Suzanne, when did that happen? I read a story earlier on today. I'm going to take this off now because I don't need it until I'll be wearing it probably on Friday again. Been messed up my hair that I spent like all of 5 minutes brushing. I read a story today, it was on Facebook, about a woman who had their cat, they'd seen it at 1:30 for dinner, it had gone for lunchtime, it'd gone out, and then at 5 p.m. they got a call from the vet that the vet had put it to sleep because the vet thought somebody had found it, a neighbour had found it and taken it to the vets, and the vet had put it to sleep because the cat was 19 years old. I mean, the cat was also chipped. I just can't believe that somebody would do that to somebody's beloved pet. I definitely wouldn't do something like that. Yeah. Hi, Sheffield Steve. Should you come back later? No, you were all right. Thank you, Danielle. You love my hat. Years ago, she also ate a wasp and her cheeks got busted. Oh, bless. Oh. Sheffield Steve, no, I was just showing off my fashion design, my Blue Peter hat that I made. It was because I was talking about something yesterday that I needed a foil hat for. I got the foil, but didn't make the hat. There wasn't enough time. So I made the hat this afternoon and I put a ribbon on it because I thought it looked prettier. Couldn't find the black ribbon though, so had to use purple. If I find the black ribbon, I'll put it on there, but I don't know where it is because I must have used it for a spell. It'll be under all the piles of shit here on my desk somewhere. What's that? No, it's not that. I don't even know what that is. It's a plastic bag with something in. It's quite Frida Kahlo. That's great. Starmer's statement this morning. Yeah, I did watch that. I wasn't watching the other channels. Yeah. He's a dickhead. He needs to go. He does need to go. And he's just play acting. And I'm so glad he didn't mention the toolmaker thing. I'm so glad. And obviously he had the seals there in the crowd. Wonder if Mikey'll clip that and put that on his noise sound box thing, whatever it is. My impersonation of a seal. Did anybody watch Tan's video that she uploaded? Oh God, it was hilarious. All the outtakes, absolutely brilliant. Pissed myself laughing, absolutely brilliant. Couldn't. She's awesome. Steve, I didn't see her her follow-up. It popped up on my feed, but I've actually had a bit of a rough afternoon. He's making it worse staying. He is making it worse staying. As you know, I didn't have my medication for a few days, and last night I didn't sleep at all. I was supposed to go to the dentist this morning, had to ring them because there's no way I could drive. My head is a bit wibbly wobbly, so if I turn too fast, the world does that. So I have to turn my head very, very slowly. I didn't go for a run today because I'm feeling so shit. But they delivered my meds just after 3:30. So I took 2 straight away. The dizziness is still there, but the pain in my legs is gone, which is good because, I mean, I get restless legs already. But, you know, sometimes when I've not had my med, last night in bed, I was just moving my legs the whole night, just having to move them. Like, it's awful. And then this afternoon, I had a little cry for no reason, just because didn't have my meds. Yeah, the vampire tooth is still there. So, yeah. So yeah, I've rescheduled the dentist for next week, but it's the only time they could get me in, but it's an afternoon appointment, which is far better for me because I do not like mornings. Really no good with mornings. The cats want me to get up. and they walk all over me. And last night, because I was awake all night, they were all on my bed. So I couldn't sleep because of them. And I was reading and I was playing games and I was watching shit on YouTube, as you do, you know. So yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to live stream, but then I thought, you know what? If I don't move my head too fast, I should be okay. And like I said, the crying stopped. So that's good. I didn't cry for long. I didn't cry for long. Let's have a look at some of the comments here and see who else has joined. Tan is great, Suzanne. She really is. She makes me laugh so much. She really does. I think I put a comment there saying absolutely brilliant. And she got footage in there of her two cats sat in front of the telly. I have exactly the same thing, having to watch the TV around my cats. She said it was a mistake to block Burnham. Diz, I disagree. If he'd resigned, then it was a gift to Refug because Frogface could claim his demise. Yeah, that is true. There's so many sides to this coin that it's actually a dice. It's not a coin. So yeah, I think that the whole thing is fucked, isn't it? The whole thing is fucked. Sorry, there's like a fluff floating. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it just went floating past. I think he did mention the tool making dad wants a tool. He mentioned the dad and his mom, but he didn't say his dad was a tool maker. Tanya Super, does she ski? Do you know she probably does? She said it was a mistake to block Burnham. Yeah, I agree. I do agree. Chrissy, I had to really bite my tongue there with Phil on the agenda earlier. My blood was and still is boiling. Yeah, I saw that came on, but I didn't watch. I decided to watch an episode of Silent Witness and watch people's bodies get cut up because that's what I like. I'm in the wrong line of work. So yeah, I'm sorry I didn't join in. I think I was on one of his chat. I think it was last night. And I just said a quick hello because I was, yes, I think it was last night, wasn't it, when he went live on the Sunday Social. And I left to watch Twin Paranormal because it's the boys. Have to watch the boys. But he mentioned my name and he said he really likes my video. So thank you, Graham. If you're watching this, I really do appreciate it. It means a hell of a lot to me. Really does. You're like one of the idols. I get a vertigo. No, this is not vertigo. It's because I haven't had, well, it's vertigo caused by the fact that I haven't had my medication for a few days. It's a strong medication. And so what happens is that my brain chemicals go all a bit wonky, more wonky than normal. And so I get pain in my neck and my back and everything goes funny, which is why I didn't go running because I probably would have fallen. But it's going round in circles. What do you take for the vertigo? Because there's one beginning with a P that they gave me, but I couldn't take that because I had to take Buscopan. The two didn't mix. I know it began with a P. He's just very stubborn and rigid. You know, we all have our faults. We all have our faults. And that's, you know, what can we say? You know, there are people who support deform. There are people who support distort. Could you tell I was getting really annoyed with him? I provided actual facts about streeting and he battered them away like they didn't matter. I don't care what Mr. Brand does to vote on your poll. I hope you don't mind me not. But no, it's okay. It's actually a piss take. It's a piss take. And that is one of the reasons that I've actually made the tinfoil hat. The video, I am busy writing it and it's going to be recorded probably in 4 parts because there's a lot of stuff that I want to say. I sat through today the hour and a half, nearly 2 hours of Piers Morgan's interview with Russell Brand. Oh my God. So I shall be praising that and plain little bits of it that are relevant. But yeah, that one of the reasons is for the hat. And he wears his tops like ripped t-shirts so that they're open, and his chest is far too smooth for him not to actually shave it. So yeah, that's just my yeah, I agree. Also very green face. Can't afford a telly. Oh no, Suzanne. It is a dice. It is a dice, definitely. In fact, it's a 20-sided dice. Where are my D&D die? They're over there somewhere, because I actually use them for readings, but I have a really cool set of D&D die that I used to use. They're really pretty. Yeah. It's your ear canal or something. Yeah, there is a canal that goes through my ear, and every now and again a gondola goes through and comes out the other side. Been on a gondola. Wasn't as exciting as I'd hoped it would be. Hi, Mouse Cat Jam. I got loads of faults, but I'd never vote Green or Labour. They are low IQ haters. Okay. So do I. So what you're saying, they hate people with low IQs. So you're saying you've got low IQ. Makes sense. I feel Phil would support the anti-LGBT rights if it was actually working for Starmer. It's clinical with him. And Elle, you know that I support all genders, no matter what you identify as. I support you. Rather you than me watching both of those two wankers. Yeah, it was a bit of a wanker. It's a D20 dice. Yeah, definitely. Who's forcefully claiming that Streeting is not a transphobe. Yeah, he is. We know he is. Diz is a 12-sided dice. Okay. Personally, I think Brand waxes his chest or uses duct tape. I should have added that, Chris. Why didn't I think of that? The duct tape thing. Okay, I see, Diz, that's not good. And Streeting is transphobic and right-winged. He is definitely right-winged. So how are you doing, Mouse Cat Jam? You know, you really did dig yourself a hole with that one. Just saying. Did you see my hat, Mouse Cat Jam? I don't think you did see my hat. It's to protect myself. It's to protect myself from the hantavirus vaccine, which I'm sure we're going to be getting soon. Oh my God. Yeah. 138 is above standard, but you mean 0.138, yeah? Triggered. Was just going to type that. Okay, I see, Diz, that's not good. And Streeting is transphobic and right-winged. He is. Yes, we all agreed, except Phil. Phil's Phil, guys. Phil's Phil. You know, he's Phil. I started watching Phil Brexit years. Been watching him for years and years and years. And every now and again, he does do a really funny video. He does have some quips that are just hilarious, very dry humor. So yeah, I think that, you know, I must say I haven't watched his videos for a while. But there's just so much that I watch at the moment that I have to watch for all the shit that I do. So yeah. Me too, Witchy. My goal this Pride is to grab a straight but no hate pin. Good. Hello, David McGuinness. Lovely to see you. I missed your live stream earlier. I was busy recording stuff. I saw, because I was like flipping between stuff and I saw that you were on. I am so sorry I didn't get a chance to watch. IQ isn't a measure of intelligence, says Diz. Definitely not. It might be I just want pain to be inflicted on Brand well. Yeah, I've got a feeling that is going to be happening. He gives himself away a couple of times in that interview. So watch out for that. Like I say, I'm going to be doing it in a few parts because it will be far too long for me to do one video. It will take days for me to edit on my phone and days for it to upload from my phone. So yeah. Don't take it, lady. Our politics might be miles apart, but I don't want more vax damaged no matter who they are. I protect myself from mouse cat jam. Mouse cat jam. I've had all my vaxes and I'm okay. Every now and again. And seriously, you know, read the literature from actual scientists. Myocarditis is a problem that affects a lot of athletes because it is an enlargement of the heart. The heart is a muscle. When you are an athlete, your heart is bigger than a normal person's heart because you are pumping more blood around your body and your pulse rate is a lot lower. My pulse rate sits at about 54, I think, when I'm resting. I remember when I was having my miscarriage and I was in hospital and I was on the machine and I was running a lot then. I mean, I was doing 10Ks every day and just going mental with it. No, it wasn't the running that caused the miscarriage. But my pulse rate kept dropping below 43 and the machine goes off when you drop below 43. So it's really funny. But it wasn't funny. Yeah, they kept coming in. It's like, yeah, I just, exercise a lot. IQ means jack shit. Yeah, so vaccines. I mean, I've had all of my vaccines my whole life. I also, having lived in South Africa, had my typhoid and cholera vaccines. And I'm glad that I did because there was a cholera outbreak in the village close to where I lived. So I'd rather not have cholera and typhoid and hantavirus, to be honest. I don't really want any sort of hemorrhagic fever. Which is it? The mRNA vaccine that they give to girls now for the vaginal cancer, the cervical cancer. I think that's brilliant. And I also think that, if you don't take a vaccine, you're a bit dim. Just saying. You're listening from work, David. Thank you. My daughter is 19. She doesn't live with me. She just says, what the F is wrong with some people? Yeah, I have some ivermectin, mate. Yeah. There was a meme. I saw the meme. I've got a mate who posts memes every Sunday evening, like 100 of them. And I always go and take the ones off of there that I like. And it was like, okay, hantavirus has already been, only 4 or 5 minutes. And the people are going, right, give them invectomycin. Give it to them. Let them have it. This rate, I'll fall asleep on the tube after and end up in the wrong place. Capital is fucking huge. Are you in London, Mel? Refuck and Repour. I like that name. I normally call them Yeah, I like Repour. I like that, though. Much better. Are nobody's friend. Anyone voting for them are fools. Absolutely. They are turkeys voting for Christmas and they don't even realize it. And that is going to bring me to my first story, which I didn't know. I wanted to talk about it yesterday, actually, and I never got a chance to speak about it because I was talking about other shit, as I do on a Sunday. Oh, it's the HCP vaccine that protects against various cancers and is recommended that both boys and girls receive at age 11 to 12. And I agree. I had my TB jab. And you know what? I'm glad I did because South Africa, TB is rife. A lot of the time, I lived near the TB hospital. And a lot of the time, the people who have TB stop taking their medication. So we had an outbreak of TB at the where I worked at a logistics company. I worked in the, in the offices and stuff. I was an IT support manager anyway. So they bring the van and the van does the x-rays of everybody in the building to check to see if we've got TB. So the health and safety officer, she had to make sure that the staff were taking their tablets to to make sure that they were actually taking them, because as soon as the symptoms go, they think that they're cured. But what happens then is the virus mutates and then the medication doesn't work. So I'm glad I had my TB jab. Hantavirus is not going to cause any pandemic. No, I don't think it is. I think it's I think it's been contained. It has to be passed directly, doesn't it, through actual bodily fluids, whereas COVID was airborne. Witchy myocarditis is the inflammation of the heart muscle, usually caused by viral infections. It is athlete's heart that sees the heart enlarge. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm pretty sure there was an article that I read around that time that was on about myocarditis being something that a lot of athletes do suffer with. So my producer has corrected me. Thank you. No helping the stupid. Certainly not, Mouse Jam Cat. No, you are far too gone. But please don't block him, guys. Let's carry on this repartee. What did you just do now, Mel? Did you fall out of your chair? Girls at school, okay, HPV virus, but it affects lads too. Good. I didn't know, because when I mean, obviously I wasn't living here when that was brought out, but I think my niece had it. So dropped my spanking brand new AirPod down a can of Monster. Oh, for fuck's sake. Bloody hell, Mel. At least you didn't fall over a tree root and cut your leg open and break your tibia and then carry on running. Boys weren't jabbed, though. Hang on. Odd the TV detector van, check if you got TV round here. No, you've got to eat the telly. Just have the cable and the plug hanging out your mouth. Put in a bowl of rice when you get home. Oh, God. Close contact. Thank you, Diz. Thank you. That'll be a few days, Chris. It was in there maybe 20 seconds. Okay, that's not too bad. But yeah, do like Chris says, put it in a bowl of rice. I agree with Chris on that one. So if you have noticed, there is a poll. Some of you don't want to, and that's fine. There is no, I'm not forcing anybody to click on the poll. But I asked the question, does Russell Brand shave his chest? Yes or no? So we've got 62% yes, 38% no. It's a daft question. I didn't want to ask anything serious. TB, not TVOL. What am I going to do with you? By the way, talking about objects that we normally discuss, have you seen that new one, the snail? Very, very interested in that. I was thinking of buying one of the badges you mentioned, but I think I might have a Northern Soul pin badge instead. The Refux won't like that badge either. No, I've got loads of badges. I need to put them on something. You had one of those letters last week. Should I stop eating the telly then? Unless it's made of chocolate. If it's made of chocolate, eat it. I don't stream films or have Gogglebox. Wow. I don't know how you manage. Yes, pray. Pray to the goddess. Pray to the goddess of all things. I'll stop eating the telly. I did answer your poll. Thank you, Daniela. Not everybody did, and that's fine. I'm not, I put up stupid polls. So Spike says hello, and a big hello to Mouse Cat Jam. Mwah. We love you, Mouse Cat Jam. Speaking of cats, most of you know that I am running for Cats Protection for the month of May. The goal is 50 kilometers. I'm already on 20. I forgot to fill it in on here because this is on my desk, and I have a book that I keep all my training stuff in. So yeah, I didn't run today, but I'll be hopefully doing a long run tomorrow at Clumber, so I should be doing about a 10K. So if you do want to sponsor me for cats protection, I think that the GoFundMe, no, it's just giving, is on my YouTube page. Hang on a second. My actual YouTube page in the description box. Let me just check. I've got to open another. Thank God I've got new internet. Let's have a look. Did I add it here? No, I didn't. I will add it there. So you can sponsor me there if you would like to. The money goes directly to the kitty cats. Or you can buy me a coffee. If you buy me a coffee in the month of May, half of that coffee will go to the kitty cats. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who has supported the channel so far. I need to check actually how many more watch hours I need, because it was 338 last week. So yeah, so watch as many videos of mine as you can. You know, just put it on when you go to sleep. You don't have to actually watch them, just play them, because I need those watch hours. Once I get those 338 watch hours, I can actually start doing the membership and everything, and it'll be so much easier for you guys rather than going and doing the buy me a coffee and stuff. So yeah, but thank you to everybody who is supporting the channel. You have no idea the difference it is making in my life at the moment. Getting close to the city means taking the funky lift again. Mr. Brand isn't worth commenting on. He's full of shit. Yeah, he is. But I want justice for the alleged victims. That's where I stand. I have badgers bob around the communal garden. They have 2 babies. Oh, don't eat them, especially if it's plugged in. Yeah, not if it's plugged in. Sugar-free monster. That's good. I don't do sugar-free. When Brand is convicted and sent to prison, the other inmates kettle him, boiling water and sugar mix or boiling. Yeah, completely agree with you there, Chris C. Completely agree with you there. Yeah, I will be focusing on recording those videos over the next few days. So the script is done. It's just sitting down, getting time to do it. I did, you know, I'd recorded a video that I wanted to release today, and I deleted it by accident. So I've re-recorded that, but I did find a video that I'd recorded a few weeks ago. So I've been editing that, and that I will upload later on this evening. 20 seconds too late. I look like Susie Sue. Nothing wrong with Sue. Did you see Sir Larry's video? I was singing Spellbound. 150 miles per hour for 4 hours. I'm so done with the train. Susie Sooks. Somebody, when I remember way back when somebody pronounced it Seox, Seox. Seoxy, Seox. Monitor is my favorite track. Do you know something? I was listening to Juju earlier. I like Night Shift. I like Night Shift. It's one of my favorites. The Juju album is brilliant, though. It's electrifying. Right, okay. Let me get on with this bloody article before I go waffling on. Right, so in Scotland on Saturday, and I didn't know this, so I'm pretty sure some of you guys did, because I know I've got quite a lot of Scottish viewers. There was a march. Day of Rage emergency rally against Refuck UK takes place. It was in Glasgow. Campaigners have taken to the streets for a day of rage against Defuck, with an emergency march and rally after the Scottish election results. The demonstration was announced prior to the results of the Scottish election declarations concluding, which saw Farage's party tying for the second largest party in Holyrood. I just don't understand. Well, I do. I do understand why people are voting for them, because they're at their wits' end with Labour, and, you know, most of us are, except those few that we were talking about earlier. And that's their right. You know, we've all got choices. We can all vote for who we want to vote for. But to be fair, anybody who votes for deform or repair are fucking idiots. Those two men are multimillionaires. They are the establishment. They are no different to Johnson and Sunak and Truss and May and all the rest of them. And they are only in it for money. They are only in it for fame. Every time Froggage opens his mouth, I want to vom. I just can't stand him. He is just the most revolting. Yeah. And he wants to basically turn England, and I'm saying England because I'm not including Wales and Scotland and Northern Ireland here. He wants to turn England into Gilead. He does. He wants to remove all people of colour. And he wants to take away women's rights. And if you don't believe that, then you need one of these. I'm going to start selling them, I think. How much is a roll of tinfoil? The march, authorised by Glasgow City Council, assembled at McLennan Arch at 10:30 a.m. before going through the city centre to the top of Buchanan Street, where a rally is taking place from 12 p.m. Stand Up to Racism and Women Against the Far-Right activists estimate that thousands are in attendance, with people travelling from Inverness through Falkirk to Dumfries to join the march. In a promotional video for the march, Glasgow Southside anti-racist campaigner Zamard Zahid said, "This is our chance as the people of Scotland to unite and send a strong message that we reject the hateful and divisive politics of reform and the far right, that we choose to celebrate diversity and not fear it." The groups distributed around 200,000 leaflets across Scotland during the election campaign, urging voters to reject Deform's racist politics. The party gained 17 MSPs from the regional vote share after winning 0 constituency seats. The SUTR also coordinated 11 unity marches and rallies across the country, including in Paisley, Dunfermline, Livingston and Kilmarnock. In an online post, the group said, "Say no to Deform UK, their Scottish Lord leader who thinks owning yachts is a hobby, and his master in London, the supreme posh racist grifter Farage." Farage's reform made gains across the country as hundreds of Labour councillors were voted out, heaping pressure on the Prime Minister. And I agree, Starmer needs to go. He's just not getting through. He's not getting through. He does not have the charisma. But do not put fucking Streeting in. Farage said the results showed a truly historic shift in British politics, away from the old era of Labour and Conservative domination, vowing the best is yet to come for his party. Unfortunately, yeah, the best is yet to come for his party, for the people in his party, but the people who are us, who have to live in this country, we're going to see things get far, far worse. And his ridiculous, if you vote Green, we're going to build the thingy centres in your towns, areas, whatever. But what about the people who voted Reform in those areas, that they get punished too? Who wants concentration camps? We already did that. We did that last century. Something I'm going to play for you in a minute. It's an interview with Margaret Atwood. It is really, really interesting, and something I didn't know she mentions. And I feel so embarrassed that I didn't know this. Feel so embarrassed. I have a TV but don't watch live TV or use iPlayer, so always contact licensing to let them know I'm a no license required household. I hadn't had one visit in over about 50. I don't watch live TV, but I do watch ITVX and BBC, especially things like Silent Witness and, you know, stuff that I enjoy. I just like watching criminals being caught and forensics. It's part of my psychology degree will be working when I go back to the studying, will be forensic psychology. So, you know, it's one avenue of going into when I get my degree. We'll see. I still want to get into academia, though. I really want to do, you know, research on different mental illnesses, specifically the dark triad. Those who know me know that I have this fascination with narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopaths. I just want to know. Did anybody hear that? Or is it just me? I think my pewter may have just died. Lives in France. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Some of you may have seen the, I think Mouse Cat Jam is actually from the video that I did about Dinosaur Bane months ago now. One of his videos showed up on my feed and I watched it and I was like, what the fuck? Go live in Great Yarmouth. But he doesn't live in the United Kingdom, this guy. He's British. He sounds like he's from Newcastle. Maybe he knows Crafty Wank, I don't know. But yeah, he supports Report. So confusing, all these parties that have the same names and want the same things, except Report want even harsher right-wing policies than Deform do. Where do we draw the line? It's a corrupt system. It certainly is. Tom Rutland, Parliamentary Private Secretary to Environment Secretary, has resigned because of Starmer. Several other PPs are likely to hand in resignations. I'm not surprised. Not surprised at all. Okay, Mel, I will see you later, my darling. Hopefully you get to where you're going safely. Pure manipulation from the top, definitely. What's happened to Sarah? Oh, no, Sarah, I'm so sorry. That is shit. That is really, really shit. Do a little spell. Do a little spell for yourself. You know, that's all we can do, isn't it? And just keep looking. I get notifications of properties every day and there's nothing. There's nothing that A, I can afford, or B, you know, is suitable for me, because I don't want neighbours. Yeah. I thought after 14 years of chaos, we could have done with something plain and boring and straightforward after all the Tory mess, but now I'm not so sure. Steve, it's been stirred up by froggage. It's deliberate. It's deliberate. And the media interviews him, platforms him, because it's clicks, because people watch, because people will watch what he says and everything. And it's just bollocks. It's just absolute bollocks. He winds people up. And have you noticed how misogynistic he is becoming when he talks to like Beth Rigby or some of the other female interviewers? He's getting like Trump. He is getting like Trump with that behavior. And it is, I don't know how those reporters keep their cool, because I couldn't do that job. Definitely couldn't do that job. He'd need that 5 million for his protection if I was in that job. You can watch on demand from ITVX or without a license. Oh, okay. Watch your live stream on here. I just can't watch Sky News, etc. on here. Ah, yeah. Okay. Well, I will then take back my TV license, because my aerial is not connected, because the pigeons get on it and they keep shagging on it. So every time I hear the aerial go, blah, 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 then I know that I just don't even contact them. Everything's through Tinterweb. How many letters does the Labour Party need to force a Brexit? 81. Thanks, Diz. Egos and stashed wealth, absolutely. Based on current Labour policy rules, as of May 26, a formal leadership challenge, written support of 20% of the Parliamentary Labour Party. Thank you, my producer. It is what Starmer needs shaking up as well. We used to say, and be more human, whatever you know. What I'm, yeah, we do know. I can't do the impressions of him that the others content creators do. They're brilliant. I'm not very good at that. I can do made up impressions. He talked Ange down instead of working together. Absolutely. So coming back to Deform, I know I did mention this yesterday, but because it's Misogyny Monday, I thought I'd just like reiterate this. So some of the candidates for Deform have already had to step down or been fired since they were elected. I did read this yesterday but some of you may not have heard this, so I'm going to read it again. It's from the Canary. Sunderland Reform councillor David Barker beat up his girlfriend and allegedly abused child. It's pretty fucking obvious from the current crop of reform. This is not me swearing. This is in the article, although it may as well be me. It's pretty fucking obvious from the current crop of Reform UK councillors that they either weren't vetted or the party doesn't care about letting in abusers and violent men. The party doesn't care. They don't care. Farage is a Nazi. He proved it when he was a child, you know, making hissing noises at Jewish students, singing Nazi songs in the village and, you know, pulling the Sieg Heil hand arm gesture. Among the newly elected is Stuart John Pryor, who celebrated a Sikh woman being raped. So much for protect our women and girls. And sure to be elected in Sunderland is Glenn Gibbons, who suggested melting down Nigerians to fill potholes. I think we should take all of the reform councillors and do that to fill the potholes. Staying in Sunderland, one newly elected councillor is such a fucking monster that it's hard to believe Reform UK couldn't have known. Meet David Barker. Newly elected councillor for Deptford and Hendon in Sunderland, Barker is also a woman and alleged child abuser. In 2019, he was given a suspended sentence at South Tyneside Magistrates Court for assault and causing actual bodily harm to his girlfriend. They do not care about women and girls and children. They hate them. They want women to be suppressed. They want to take away the votes from women. They want women to go back to being chained to the kitchen and having babies. And they are so afraid of strong women. Poached egg is just there because she, you know, is a woman. She's like the sort of, you know, token female in the party. That's it. And as is, what's the face? The other one that joined. They're just tokens. And they're there because they're still grifting. They still want to earn money off of this ride. Prosecutor Claire Irving said Barker's paranoia that his girlfriend of 6 years was cheating on him led him to the horrifying attack, which left her black and blue. In an emotional statement after the attack, his victim said, "He said I am seeing other people behind his back and that has led to friction between us. I hid away from my family and friends because I did not want them to see what David had done." Images of the injuries were shown to the court, which included black eyes, heavy bruising to her arm and behind her ear, and a cut to her head. Broker's abuse was attributed to his excessive cannabis use. Absolute fucking bullshit. Bullshit. Fucking bullshit. Weed does not make you aggressive at all. Which the defense said made him paranoid. Because of this bullshit, he was given a 22-week prison sentence, suspended for 18 months. He also had to attend 15 rehabilitation days and complete a Building Better Relationships program, as well as paying his victim just 500 quid in compensation. If the weed that he was using made him paranoid, he had a really bad supplier. Clearly needed more of the THC. Oh, but wait, there's fucking more. The group Reform Party Exposed also uncovered that Barker set up a website and Facebook page, The Masked Truth, which claimed to help people with social services and family court issues. He supposedly set the group up after his own child was taken into care, but the truth is much more sinister. Screenshots shared by Reform Party Exposed from a Facebook group called Predator Awareness claim that Barker and his then partner abused and neglected their child. The post alleges that they let the child sleep in their own feces. They were also starved and burnt with cigarettes. It also alleges that Barker used multiple names to harass them and others, including Daniel Murray and Harry Watts. You know, I miscarried. I would have given anything for that not to have happened and for me to have been blessed with a child, but it wasn't meant to be. But anybody who does that to kids should not be walking on the street and should definitely not be in fucking council. There are screenshots on this, so I will pop the link. I'll just copy and paste it quickly into the live stream in a minute. In another screenshot, also shared by Reform Party Exposed, another person demands that Barker remove images of their child from his page and stop using these images. Anecdotally, female social and court workers told me that Barker has harassed them repeatedly for a long time. Reform is letting these men in on purpose. With this much of a documented history and recent history at that, it's hard to believe that Reform UK did not stop Barker during vetting. Sure, they might not have had time to scour everyone's social media, but this comes up when you Google him, for fuck's sake. This is so much more than a slip-up in vetting. Reform UK are allowing these men to run for office because they don't see anything wrong with what they did. And if any woman thinks they'll be protected when Reform UK comes for us all, they are dead wrong. Abso-fucking-lutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Anybody who believes that this bunch of wazzocks want to actually protect women and girls is a fucking numpty. An absolute fucking numpty. I'm just popping this. I don't know if I can do it actually from here. Let's see. I might not be. Okay, I've added the link to that Canary article into the description of the video. So if you want to go and read it, you can. And it's got all the actual screenshots from what was on, I don't know if it's Twitter or whatever, but it's one of them. Yeah. Yeah. If I was in charge of housing, I would make it so everyone is entitled to a starter one-bed flat. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely, Sarah. They should be. Everybody needs a roof over their head. Absolutely everybody. Hello, Sir Larry. Lovely to see you. I enjoyed the rendition of Spellbound. Thank you. Filling out the TV license required declaration online. Watch out for the multiple choices. The last one tries to trip you up as the first 4 questions you would answer no to. Okay, thank you for that. Larry, where is Charlie? Last seen having a meltdown at the pool. Okay. In suspended animation of the enablers. It feels like the sick and disabled people, as well as the pensioners, are struggling families are non-existent when looking at what Starmer said today. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Elle, for popping up that link. That's wonderful. The word vile hardly covers what some of these people are. I know, Steve. The words, I can't. My grandma used to say piss cock fart, so I'll use that expression, piss cock fart. Oh yes, please put Daniela's link up, because I was watching one of her videos earlier. It's dead funny. Sorry, I had to have some Gaviscon before I came live. Oh, which reminds me, where's Reagan? Where's Reagan Elite? Is he on holiday? Anything run by the HMPS, the Building Better Relationships program, his current form takes nothing. Yeah. He reads the instructions on cleaning his turkey teeth. Shelter is a human right. Absolutely. Shelter, food, warmth, clothing. What have I missed? I've missed one off. I know education is in there, but there's something else. The basic human rights. He's on holiday. Oh, I hope he has a good holiday. Your gran said something similar. I know pre-general election, Starmer promised change, but did also say it wouldn't be as easy and didn't promise miracles. And I know you can't wipe out 14 years of chaos, can't be erased overnight. But yeah, the Building Better Relation. Oh, there we go. Covers 4 modules, including understanding the impact of violence and developing safer, healthy relationships. However, you are not able to see what the modules are, as the full program manual is restricted to accredited practitioners with the HMPPS. There is actually, I think, the guy that put that together, and I did start doing a series on his work where he sat with a group of abusers and asked them why they abuse. And some of the answers were very enlightening. I must redo a video on that because it's really interesting. Food, water and shelter. Of course, we all need foots. I know you meant feet. Forgot about stream, had a heavy day. Oh, don't worry, Doc Davis. Don't you worry. I wasn't sure if I was going to stream tonight because I've not had my meds for a few days. So I was feeling very off, didn't sleep at all last night, was feeling a bit and then had a bit of a weep this afternoon. And then after that, I'm all right. Oh, my candle's gone out. The candle's gone out. See if I can do this without breaking the glass. Because the wax is still soft. No, I'm not going to faff about. I'll sort that out tomorrow. You meant food. I know you meant food. So just coming back to a little bit of housekeeping. If you would like to support the channel, you can buy me a coffee. The link is in the pinned comment at the top of the chat. And it is also pinned in the description of the channel description. Not insomnia, Suzanne. No, not insomnia. It is the fact that I hadn't had meds. And the brain, the meds I needed to stop that. So it was a tossy-turny night. I don't get stressed anymore when I can't sleep, because I know getting stressed is just going to make me iller. So I just read and watch shit and play with the cats, and eat shit and stuff. So no, I do have sleeping pills. I try not to take them. And it was 4 o'clock in the morning. I thought, if I take a sleeping pill now, I'm not going to wake up. And I had to ring the dentist this morning to tell them that I wouldn't make the appointment because otherwise you get struck off the books. You know what it's like when it's NHS. And then, of course, there is the poll there. Does Russell Brand wax his chest or shave his chest? 64% say yes. And 36% say no. That's okay. Some of you say that he waxes it, and some of you have said that he possibly uses duct tape, which I like the sound of, to be honest. I think that's a really good idea, using duct tape. Thank you, Elle, for popping up the link. Do appreciate it. I don't. I just chill as best I can. Yeah, that's it. You just pick up a book, read, watch something ridiculous, play a game, whatever. You know, it's just not worth tossing and turning and getting upset, is it? So I've had this, let me see if this will work. This Margaret Atwood.
When I have to write an essay on a certain topic, I always get stuck.
Ads.
So
Sorry,
Grammarly
guys.
is an AI writing partner that helps students with their writing from beginning to end so that they can achieve.
You wrote the hand.
So this is an interview with Margaret Atwood. It's not a long interview. It's from a year ago, and she's talking about The Handmaid's Tale and why she chose to write a speculative fiction story. So I don't know if you've all seen The Handmaid's Tale. It is a brilliant show. I wish I could see the new show. But yeah, you need to put sadistic Chris back in the box when it comes to the brand. Yeah. I hear you, which is why I want to do this video on him, because I hate him that much, like Tate. Absolutely detest him. They're not men. They're not men. They are predators. They are predators. So I'm going to let you listen to this, and I'll interject. I can't play this through because I don't have the technology. You guys know this. This computer is like 20 odd years old now, and this is new, but I don't have the wherewithal, to be honest, to sort it out. I just decided to switch off the TV last night and switch the radio on for a while and listen to some ambient tunes on Radio 3 of all places. Not a problem. Not a problem. I listen to Classic FM. I love Classic FM. I'd rather listen to Classic FM than LBC because it's more chilling, you know, as in chilling out, chilling. Whereas LBC, I tend to get, you know, I like Dawn and Sunsets, always did. Yeah. Right. So let's listen to what Margaret has to say. Let me know if you can hear it okay, guys.
Handmaid's Tale in a pre-internet age, and I've read that you had press clippings with you about abortion outlaws in Romania and declining birth rates in Canada. How much did writing The Handmaid's Tale feel like an act of journalism? Did it?
Oh, well, the rule that I set myself for The Handmaid's Tale was that nothing goes in this that doesn't have a precedent somewhere in history or in real life right now. Going back and looking at some of the things that Hitler had done, for instance, they're very similar. He was a child stealer. He stole blonde children from Poland and put them with German families, hoping to augment the number of Aryans, etc. So
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I found that out today. And we know that Putin did the same with the Ukrainian children. What's it, 20,000? 20,000 Ukrainian children that were kidnapped from the Donbass region and are now somewhere. Talk about, you know, pedo rings or, you know, child trafficking. Where did those kids go? How fucking awful. That is far right. That is fascism.
these themes are they're human history themes, and they're particularly 20th century history themes. Quite a lot of genocide and rearrangement of populations went on in that century, and I can say that we're not finished with that.
Well, I've heard you say that before, that there had to be a precedent for everything, that this had to be within the human smorgasbord of things
That's
to do. Why was that an important rule for you?
Because I wasn't writing science fiction fantasy. I was writing speculative fiction like 1984, and 1984, as you know, is just 1948 backwards. So what he was describing was what he knew about the kind of thing that was going on in the Soviet Union. That process of show trials and so forth is basically what Stalin was doing in the 30s. I made it a rule for myself that I wasn't going to make stuff up.
I read that you said, it's the new novel, it scares me, but I have to write it.
These tendencies have been inherent in the United States since the 17th century. And when you have a foundational pyramid like that, it doesn't really ever go away. Central Americans, when they built pyramids, they would have a pyramid, and they wouldn't, if they wanted a new one, they wouldn't take that one down. They would just build on top of it. And then they would build another one on top of that. And you can see two tendencies playing themselves out in American history over time. And one of them is the tendency towards a fundamentalist theocracy. And the other one is a tendency towards a more egalitarian democracy. And you can see them going back and forth. So school children get told that the Puritans escaped from England to get religious freedom. That's only partly true. They did it to get religious freedom for themselves, but not for anybody else. And one of the next things they did was to persecute Quakers. We had the hippies, and
That's true. I don't know I can't remember which date it is, but it's from my morning messages. There is something about the Puritans. I can't remember, because I try and record them all on the same day, because otherwise, that's why I'm wearing the same outfits in some of them. Sheffield Steve, she meant when you're listening to sort of chilled music, it regulates your system. So you are more balanced and not as frenzied from the shit that we have going on in the world. That's why I try and make my live streams a bit more fun and stupid rather than serious and stuff. I'm shouty and ranty, but I think I'm shouty and ranty in a more, I don't know, you can tell me, I don't know. So yeah, like Suzanne says, most social media is a mindfuck. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. But so the Puritans, they decided to ban Christmas. And it was 7 years after it had been banned in Britain. And because they said that it was a pagan festival, and it was, not the real sort of Christian faith or whatever. So she's right about that. And when you look at Hitler, I'm not a massive fan of, I've not gone and studied this. So I'm just going off of what I know. And I'm pretty sure that there are other people that come, that know more than I do about this. But when you look at what Hitler did, he wanted to get rid of the Jews because they were the wealthy. They had a different faith. He felt that they were, and I hate to use this term because it's not my term, he felt that they were dirty and unclean. Much the same way that a lot of, deformers think that is the case with Muslim and people of other faiths and skin colors. And, you know, deformers like everybody to be in the same box, don't they? They don't accept originality. They don't accept differences. They don't accept that everybody is an individual. They want everybody to be exactly the same. Think like them, be like them, which is exactly what Hitler wanted. And he created the brown shirts, and the kids, you know, joined this whole thing to make them all the same. So that is, if you've not seen Handmaid's Tale, please go watch it or read the books. Absolutely brilliant. And it does show how men can be. There is another video that I've got lined up, but I don't know if we'll have time to listen to it all. So we'll, I'll see after this. This is only a short one. This is only 11 minutes long. So let's listen to Margaret rather than me. She says it way better than I do.
And the second wave women's movement, and we had the liberalization of a lot of laws in the 70s. In the 80s, there was a pushback. So the date of composition was 1984, when people were already talking about what they would like to do if they got the chance, which was to get rid of these liberalizing laws and turn things back to the way they were in, say, 1955 or 1855. So that was part of the scary thing. The other scary thing was, okay, I'm going to write this book and then I'm going to get death threats and people yell at me. So there were two scary things.
Don't know if you can hear that noise, but that's the pigeons bonking on the aerial.
At work, one, this is a tendency that I am noticing that other people might not believe is happening, but I think is. And the other one was, therefore, I'll get in trouble.
Can you remember reading the first review in 1985?
I can't remember which review was the first one, but they varied from country to country. So in England, it was jolly good yarn because they didn't believe this was actually going to happen. In fact, Europe didn't believe it would happen because at that moment, the wall had not yet come down. The Cold War was still on. And those people all wanted to think of America as a beacon of light, hope, and freedom. And the idea that it could turn around and go the other way was just horrifying to them. And they did not wish to believe that.
Are you a person of faith who struggles with all?
Sorry.
So the English, having done their civil war under Oliver Cromwell, their religious civil war, weren't about to do that again. And therefore they said, jolly good yarn. Ho, 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 Margaret, you're so inventive. The Canadians, in their nervous way, said what Canadians usually say, which is, could it happen here? And the answer to that is less likely because Canada has too many diverse pockets of population. So there isn't a sort of monolithic Canadian set of religious beliefs, and particularly Quebec, which had been under the thumb of the church for so many years. And when they overturned that, they overturned it really quite completely. And they were not about to go back. So it would be hard to do in Canada. In the States, it was mixed. It was either this will never happen because we're beyond this, and how could you even think that we would do such a thing?
Was it in 1990 something, Suzanne, that they outlawed grape, marital grape? And yet, as I mentioned at the beginning, you know, we still have these groups online. I check, Google, I check, and it is, there's a group where men, yes, it is men, not all men, I know this, are drugging their wives at night with sleeping pills or related stuff. You can buy it. There's a guy who, 1991, yeah. 1991 does not feel like bloody 30 years ago to me. It feels like it was yesterday. Lost the train of thought, lost the train of thought, all aboard, I. It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me. I was on about misogyny, wasn't I? My usual. Yeah, they were. They were. But were they raped by women or men? So that's what I was on about. So yes, these this thing, it's happening now. It is happening now. I've done a video recently about it. That this iCheck thing, there's this website. Channel 4 did a documentary on it. I know I've done a video on it, and it is on my watch lists. That men that was raping them. Yeah. Men raping men because it's men. That's the problem. So I was talking about Crazy Train. Crazy. Love that song. 1991 ruling was not explicitly codified in law until the S Offences Act in 2003. So these men are actually, it's ongoing. It is ongoing. Dispatches uncovered this whole thing. She'd been doing this investigation into it, and I've got some videos coming up. Again, stuff that I'm working on. It's a lot of videos, a lot of work, and women who've gone through what Giselle Pellicot went through, but with their husbands. So it's got to the stage now where women aren't even safe in their own marital beds because some men are drugging their wives. It boils down to narcissism and the tricks that they use. So it's the love bombing, it's the trauma bonding, it's the gaslighting. Then the woman becomes dysregulated. Now, we know it happens the other way as well, but the vast majority of this behavior comes from men. And that's just statistics. That is statistics. So then they turn around and blame their victim, their wife, and that they are the actual victim themselves because, but they enjoy doing it. They enjoy doing it. They enjoy that sense of control. Rape is about control. It's not about sex. It's about control. Those lads that was found dead in the cemetery never got justice, and it was Grindr. Yeah. Those dating apps, don't use them. Don't use them. The stuff that I see online, because I do follow a lot of these, things. I like the young lad who stomped on the young woman's head because she wouldn't give him his number. Those things are happening more and more. Adolescents. Chris, you told us yesterday, I think, in the chat that Owen, can't remember his surname now, won Best Supporting Actor for his role in Adolescence, and well deserved because he played that to a T. And unfortunately, that kind of behavior is becoming more and more frequent and seen more and more. Whereas this is just my opinion. So I'm not going on any facts here. I'm not reading off of any reports. I'm not reading off of any research. But my personal opinion as a Gen Xer, we sort of broke that bond, that sort of, a lot of us said, no, we aren't being like the boomers. And I know it's not all boomers, so I'll just put that out there. I don't have the signs that come up, but we said, no, we're not going to be like that. And, that cycle was broken. And now with red pill content and the manosphere and people like Tate and Jordan Peterson and all of those, that are influencing young boys and men. And then they say things like that. I just think, what the fuck? that nobody wants to help them because they can't cry and they can't go and get therapy. Of course they bloody can. Just go and do it. They want their wives to be their therapists. They want their wives to fix everything for them. I was watching something earlier on today about, because I was just trying to sort of get my mind away from the way I was feeling with the side of, the withdrawal side effects of the I'm actually, the drugs are starting to work now, which is why I'm talking a lot faster. This will go. It's sort of like down there, now going up there, but it'll balance. We're saying things like, these young lads want to control women. They believe that they are entitled to women, that that's it, that women must be what they want. I mean, I look at my niece. I don't think she's ever had a boyfriend. I don't think she's gay. I really don't think she's gay, because I know that she, when she was growing up, she liked Twilight, not the twinkly vampire, the other one, Jacob, I think his name was, wasn't it? So yeah, I just think that she's just not interested. Why would she be? Why would she be? There's once a news story about a man who was targeting gay men using Grindr and assaulting them, and worse. Truly barbaric. So you're right. Avoid dating apps. Yeah, it's the Grindr. I think it's on Netflix. Grindr has a habit of crashing when there's a Republican Congress meeting or big rally going on. Owen Cooper, thank you, Chris C. Best Supporting Actor, BAFTA, but he has received a lot of hate from the Gammons for it. Of course he has. Of course he has. He's an actor. It's what actors do. They act. We do need to resist this. We definitely do, Suzanne. We have to. If we don't do it, who is going to do it? Who is going to make sure that our daughters and our daughters' daughters and their daughters are going to have their rights still, their freedoms, their ability to work, to study, to, travel the world, a choice to, not have to get married because you can't work, because you can't open a bank account. Either you need your husband to help you or your father to help you open a bank account because it has to be male. I mean, they're already talking about taking away the vote from women in America. Here, with the Gorton and Denton by-election, when the beautiful Hannah Spencer won, they were talking, there was mention about, there should be a family vote only, and it should be the head of the family that votes. All the rights that we fought for hundreds of years can be ripped out from underneath us so quickly, so fucking quickly. So quickly. Actors act. They do, Elle. They do. They act. It might be the same bloke, but I thought there was one in South Yorkshire doing the same. I might be wrong. There could be. There's been a few. There's been a few different ones that have used Tinder and all sorts to. There's one guy that was also on a Netflix series, I think, or it could have been Dispatches. I watch a lot of those kind of things because of what I'm studying. But it was a Tinder dater, and he was dating lots of different women at the same time, claiming that he was wealthy, but he was actually getting the women to send him money. And that's how he was affording his lifestyle. So these women who were wealthy were actually supporting him, but he was seeing lots of women. So they didn't know that this is what was going on. Again, it is that coercion. It's that, I need money because of this and that's happened. Like the Nigerian prince that used to email us and say, I found family and you're my long lost relative. And if you send me £5,000, saying bollocks. No, it is because he was a white lad. The gammons say it is only non-white boys who attack white girls. Reading reports that this has received horrific threats online for his role. Fucking hell, Chris C. Fucking hell. You see, this is the mentality of the gammons. This is the mentality of those men. And we know that half of those men, let's say 45% of those men, are actually abusers. I couldn't believe the complaints the BBC got when they used a female weather forecaster who had either an amputated arm or something, and mums were complaining she was frightening to their kids. Oh my God. It is... Misogyny is not just men hating women. It's also women hating women. And it is basically institutionalized into women, especially women of older generations. When I was in my 40s, I was wearing short skirts. I still wear short skirts every now and again. But anyway, they're normally short at the front and long at the back because I do my goth thing. And I don't care. I don't give a flying fuck what you have to say about how I dress. You can go fuck yourself. I love dressing up goth. I absolutely adore it. Why shouldn't I? It was a chat on one of the goth pages that I belong to about older goths, sort of my age. And they were saying, like, should we go grey or should we stay black, you know, with the hair? And whatever you want, you know, I'm 57 now. I've still got my black hair. Sod it. I used to be blonde. I've been pink. I've been purple, been blue. I've never been green. I've never had green hair. But yeah, why not? Why not? You know, be who you want to be. Purple coat. I must find that poem. Your nan's from Gorton and Denton. The Tinder swindler. Thank you, Diz. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to make you my second producer. Couldn't believe the complaints on BBC got when the, oh yeah, the female. I would have said to those mums trying to educate your child more. Yeah, exactly. Asymmetric skirts. I have a few. Yeah. Can I point out that Owen Cooper was 13 when he auditioned for the role and was 14 when during the filming, and he's now 16 about to take his GCSE. Stephen Graham is angry at the level of abuse aimed. I bet he is. I like Stephen Graham. He was bloody brilliant in that as well. He's a brilliant actor. He is one of my favourite British actors. He really is. You know, you do you and fuck what anyone says. Absolutely. Absolutely, Daniela. I completely agree. Fuck the rest. I don't care. I was wearing a short skirt anyway, and I went to my mum's and she was like, don't you think you're too old for that now? I was teaching yoga at the time, so I was stick thin. No. Don't tell me what to wear. She used to tell me what to wear when I was a bloody teenager, and now I'm in my 40s. Then she's telling me what to wear again. I wear what I bloody like. I wear my mini skirt. Good for you. Do anything you want to do. Yeah, these gammon are so brave, abusing a 16-year-old boy just starting out. I know, Diz. It is sickening. It is sickening that it is jealousy. There's a certain amount of jealousy there. And there's a certain amount of jealousy that white men, and it comes back to white privilege, male privilege and white male privilege, that they don't want to accept that they are just as bad as all the other men in the world. Video coming out tomorrow. What? Not tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Watch out for it. Very interesting. Most of my skirts are minis. A lot of my skirts are those with the splits that go all the way up. So I put my fishnet stockings on. You know, those ones that look like suspenders. They're false suspender stockings. I like them. They're dead comfy. They're dead comfy. Most are only brave behind a keyboard. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Or when there is a group of them and they're all pissed up. Let's go back to a little bit more of what Margaret has to say.
And on the other hand, how long have we got? So some people said, how long have we got? Other people said, surely not. The people who said surely not tended at that moment to be older. And the people who said how long have we got tended to be at that moment younger.
The TV series launched 3 months after President Trump was inaugurated, 3 months after the Women's March on Washington. What did it feel like to have your work resurface and be reinterpreted in that?
Okay, so we knew, and on November the 9th, the election is the 8th.
Yeah,
November the 9th. Everybody in the show, and we were several months into shooting by that time, woke up on that morning and said to themselves, we're in a different show. Not because anything changed. Nothing changed in the scripts in the first season. But the frame was going to be different, and the frame was different. So instead of, look what we just avoided, people reacted to it as, here it comes. Everybody was very unsettled around that time. I think there was a very unsettled feeling. I think there still is a very unsettled feeling. And I think that the creation of chaos and the feeling of nobody can predict anything, I think that's deliberate.
Do you feel like the story you published 30 years ago is about to come true?
Do I feel it's about to come true? It's coming true in lumps. So it's like what William Gibson said about the future. The future is already here, but it's unevenly distributed. So there have certainly been really quite astonishingly extreme attempts made in some states to squash women's rights. Not all of them have succeeded, but some of them have. And you're going to see more of them. But as I said, it's lumpy. It's going to be state by state. I think you're probably okay in Los Angeles for the time being.
How long have people been asking you that question, and has your answer changed?
No, it's about the same. I think the United States is so large and diverse that it's not an automatic rollover. So if you have a much smaller, more condensed European country, it's easier to get your hands on, your totalitarian hands on all of the methods of news distribution. For instance, it's easier to shut down an independent judiciary. Not that attempts have not been made in this country, but I don't think people are going to roll over so easily for that kind of monolithic approach. And I think also that a lot of people have been galvanized by recent events who previously would have just said, oh, well, government, who cares about that? It's nothing to do with me, I'm not going to vote. I think they have realized that this could, that unless they themselves participate in the choice of people who are running things, they're going to get run.
Yeah, America, those rights for women are being taken away little bit by little bit. Here in the UK, we are still lucky. But I see so many men saying things like, you've only got rights because we gave you your rights. But I would like to remind them, going back to when did working men get the rights? Was it 1898, something like that? They'd been fighting, and then, or was it before that, 1888? That number sticks in my head for some reason, but women only got the vote in the 20s. And first of all, the women that got the vote were the wealthy women, and then they carried on, fighting for every woman to get the vote. But they can be so easily taken away from us, not just from women, but from working men as well. And them wanting to leave the ECHR, Farage, people think, oh yeah, let's leave the ECHR because then we can send the the asylum seekers back to wherever. No, you can't, because you don't have an agreement with those countries. First of all, you know, that there's the whole legal aspect of it. But secondly, you're taking away your own rights. You really think that somebody like Froggage is going to allow you to keep the rights that you currently have? Oh no, don't be daft. You'll have you working down pit, up chimney, in mill.
You've said that it has been both inspiring and unsettling to see a resurgence of interest in The Handmaid's Tale. Why is that?
Well, inspiring because it means that people are paying attention to what could happen, what some people would like to do to them. Let's put it that way. Unsettling because, of course, you would much prefer when you write a book like this that it would act as a "do not do this" sign, and that people would then not do it. So that's what's unsettling. It shouldn't be a blueprint.
Your book was banned when it came out, and you appealed and wrote appeals. What did you say in those essays?
Okay, so I only wrote one essay of that kind. It was actually an open letter to a school board. And this was not a heroic story about me. It's a heroic story about some high school students whose school board attempted to ban The Handmaid's Tale in their school, but they wanted to read it and study it. And this was in the Texas Panhandle. So there was, clearly conservative surround to this story. And they argued their case to the school board and they won. So for me, those people are, free speech heroes.
Yeah. How many books has America banned recently? Kristallnacht. I'm proud that our city had the first women's political union long before anyone had heard of Emily Pankhurst. There's the blue plaque on the old Sheffield Star building on York Street. I didn't know that, Sheffield Steve. Thank you for sharing that. All men aged 21 and over only received the right to vote in 1920. Before then, it was the only urban working men, meeting the property qualification. Yeah. I despair of people too. I go out dancing still. I don't drink much, never did, never leave them on a shelf. Oh God, no. No. Always keep your drink. Always keep your drink and get them, if you do go out, any youngsters on here that you go out, get those covers for your drinks, make sure don't let somebody go to the bar and buy you a drink that's a bloke that you don't know. Don't. And ladies, if you go out with a group of girlfriends and, one of your girlfriends gets wasted, look after her. Don't bloody leave her. Very important. Did anyone see Channel 4 documentary on the school that tried to end racism? The Gammons targeted that as well, saying it was spreading disinformation. Oh God, I don't think I did see that, but I'll have a look for it. I'm sure it'll pop up at some stage on what I watch. Some bloke harassed me at a local music venue. He threw some trash at me and said I was MIF. I'm not sure. Oh, a MILF. Okay. Yeah. I used to go out a lot. I did used to go out and party a lot, but it was a different time. I don't go out now, mostly because people. I'll go to things that I have to have this preparation process to go out to, like a gig or whatever. So I'll buy the ticket and then think, right, I'm going to work up to that to go to that thing. And everything's got to be planned and everything has to run smoothly, because if it doesn't, so like if I'm going to Manchester, I have to make sure I've got food and water in the car and my pee bags for if I need them. And, everything's organized and I leave at a certain time, check the AA app to make sure that because it's always when you get to Tintwistle that the traffic is stupid, just past Glossop. And then, yeah, always have to make sure that I know exactly where I'm going, and I try and get my parking paid for before I get there as well, because yeah, I don't like, I'm by myself. Luckily, I'm an old woman now, so I don't get bothered by blokes anymore, which is good. But I do pity the younger lasses. My niece was harassed by a bunch of blokes, I think, when she was walking home, I think, from school. And was it school? No, it can't have been school, because my sister used to pick her up. She was walking from somewhere, and daytime, and this bunch of lads were, giving her what for behind her. She never told my sister, her mom. But when I started talking about that stuff one day, she started talking about it, my mom started talking about it, and my sister started talking about it. So that's 4 women in one family who have experienced that shit. 4 women in one family. So when they say 1 in 4 women will experience grape, the other 3 will probably experience some form of harassment. Recently, someone describing Sheffield to me as the People's Republic of, well, because of the Sheffield outrages, it led to the creation of employment unions. Of course, I would be taught about the Sheffield outrages in the Thatcher era school curriculum. I found out about it from a teacher friend of mine in my 20s. It wasn't until 1969 that men and women over the age of 18 received the right to vote. Thank you, Chris C. Yeah. Hello, Liebchen. Lovely to see you. Are you still feeling meh? Blow you kisses. Some teachers were brill. Some were shit. Oh my God, you didn't go to school in South Africa? I had one brilliant teacher. She was my English teacher. She was absolutely brilliant. The rest of the teachers were absolutely awful. It was very militaristic. It was like being in the army. In fact, we used to actually march on Friday afternoons on the field, the whole school. Different, classes would march in their little platoons, because South Africa was at war with Angola and Mozambique. And all the lads used to get their call-up papers when they left school at 18, 2 years national service, and then they could carry on. Joey Manario, who declared publicly that there is no such thing as rape, has had the permission to enter the UK for Saturday's Unite the fucking Kingdom event revoked. Yes, there was another one as well, Chris C. I did actually want to mention this. Oh, somebody else has bloody phoned me now. Oh, that'll be a spam call. I did actually take a screenshot of it, so let me try and find it. It was on Facebook this morning. Millions of screenshots, sorry. Screenshots and memes and all sorts of stuff. I don't know why I keep them for so long. I really don't. Just the thing is, I screenshot articles that I want to talk about on the show, and then I forget, Here we go. Waxy Lemon is complaining that the Labour government is not letting his friends into the country to spout fascism at his upcoming rally. This time he's bemoaning that Lutz Bachmann has been denied entry, but as normal, he fails to mention some key facts. Let's look at Bachmann. 1998, sentenced to 3 years and 8 months in prison for a series of 16 burglaries. To try and escape his prison sentence, he fled to South Africa, where he lived under a false identity for 2 years before being caught and extradited back to Germany. He has multiple convictions for drug dealing, including a 2-year sentence in 2010 for cocaine dealing and possession. He was fined €9,600 for inciting racial hatred in 2016. He has other convictions for assault, drunk driving, and failure to pay child support. Because of his high rate of criminal convictions and his far-right activities, he was refused entry to the UK and deported back to Germany, yet again as the authorities deemed his presence not conducive to the public good. This was in fact in 2018 and was done under the then Conservative government, and the ban has stood since. So unsurprisingly, Waxy Lemon continues to be involved with convicted criminals, much like himself, and can't seem to understand as to why the decent people of the nation don't want him or his criminal cohorts to begin with. Yeah. Yeah. Stay away from London, guys, this weekend. Stay away from London. A total of 7 people have had their permission to enter the UK for the Unite the Kingdom event revoked. Good. I was a long distance runner. Oh, excellent. I used to work with the then future PCS union leader when he told me how explained Thatcher to his daughter and she shouted milk snatcher when she happened to be in the same place. Ofcom to investigate GB News over second airing of Trump interview. Ooh. He said it was the proudest day of his life. Yeah, so, yeah. If they're not allowed here, they're not allowed here, you know. Yet, you know, they want to let the white criminals in, but not those of another skin color. And we know that there will be, amongst the asylum seekers, there will be criminals, because that is just statistics, you know. Out of 10, there will be 1 or 2 that are the bad eggs. But the majority will be good. Just the same as here, you know. The majority will be good, but the majority are getting better, I think. And it needs to be called out. Misogyny needs to be called out. It really, really does. When you see young lads tearing into young girls, call it out, stop it. Because they don't stop with young girls. A few years ago, it was after the COVID lockdown, the lift had been lifted. I was walking in the woods and there was this group of kids on the bikes. There was 11 of them, 10 boys, 1 girl. I felt sorry for the girl. I thought she's going to be in trouble at some stage. And they started on me. They wouldn't let me leave the wood. I had to ring the police. And the police had to come and rescue me. They wouldn't let me leave the wood. The lads, they kept cycling to all the entrances so that I couldn't get out. Gang warfare. Yeah, gang warfare. I'm going to play a song, actually. I will have to do the other video next week, but I want to play a song as my outro. If you've not heard it, see, I can still do this because I'm not monetized yet. So, you know, and it's at the end, so they don't really pay much attention to the end. This song was released just before the second election of Orange fucking numpty getting in. So it's by Stevie Nicks and it's called Lighthouse, and the lyrics are brilliant. I knew there'd be an ad. I just bloody knew there'd be an ad. I did. I knew it. Hi, Joe. Thank you for joining. Just playing a song on the way out. Lighthouse by Stevie Nicks. She released this just after the gigs that she played here in the UK when I saw her, and I was so upset that she didn't sing this live.
I have my scars, you have yours.
Oh, Joe, so am I. But Stevie,
Don't let them take your power. Don't leave it alone in the final hours. Take your soul, they'll take your power. Don't close your eyes and hope for the best. The dark is out there, the light is going fast. Until the final hours, your life's forever changed. All the rights that you had yesterday are taken away. And I am afraid, you should be afraid. Should be afraid. Because everything I thought
I have goosebumps and my hair's all standing on end listening to this. Because it is all about feminism. It's all about women fighting for the vote.
someone said, dreams run over. The dream's just begun. Or is it a nightmare? Is it a lasting scar? It is unless you save it. And that's that. Unless you stand up and take it back. Take it back. I had my style. You had yours. Don't let them take your power. Don't leave it alone in the final hours. They'll take your soul, they'll take your power. Unless you stand up and take it back. Try to see the future and get it back. It's the best through your fingers. You don't have what you had. You don't have much time to get it back. I want to be the lighthouse. Bring all of you together.
So basically, she's saying in this song that, you know, Trump's going to take away abortion rights and so on, which he did. So this was preemptive to
Tell them the story.
what actually happened.
I want to teach them
If you want to be reminded of the Tony Blackburn, Duran Duran, but okay, thank you. I shall have a look.
Don't let it happen again.
Oh yeah, Fleetwood Mac, very dysfunctional. Yeah, but I'm still a massive Stevie fan.
Don't let them take your power.
So if you want a rage song to feminist out to, brilliant song, watch the video. It is really good. It really is good. It's, you know, women holding equal rights and stuff, you know. So is Graham going live at 8? I wasn't sure. So he's been busy today. Yeah, Rumours is brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah, she passed away. She passed away, didn't she, Christine? Dan Haim, I will have a look at that. Joe, thank you for that. I am so glad I have Titan. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, because in Fleetwood Mac, they swapped partners often, didn't they? Right, guys, I am going to head off. You have all got time to... Oh, Tango in the Night is a brilliant album. Brilliant album. And Rumours, yeah. Tango in the Night, Rumours. I like Tusk as well. Another one of my favourites. I just like Fleetwood Mac. So I will see you all on Wednesday evening for Witchy Wednesday. And thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for... the support. If you haven't yet liked the hit the like button, please do. If you haven't subscribed, please do. If you would like to donate to the channel, please do. The link is Buy Me a Coffee. It's in the link at the top of the chat. The poll results. Let's have a look at the poll results. So do you think Russell Brand shaves his chest? 71% yes, 29% no. So yeah, I thought it'd be a yes. But thank you everybody for being here, for watching, for your support, for absolutely everything that you do. You are brilliant. You are amazing. Have a wonderful evening and blessed be. Mwah.